So this particular talk is called An Intentional Life. And this particular talk is by a gentleman called Alex Smith. Can we create a huge round of applause for Alex? I just spent 6 months in the league lucky just to keep
afloat. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, that you're on that boat and you can hear the water lapping and the floorboards creaking. I'm so glad you left that in, Rick. And you can feel the gentle sway, hear the lapping of the waves on the hull of the boat, and as you peer up over the side of the boat and you look out, and all you can see is ocean. How do you feel? What is it that drives you? Where are you going? You can feel the current pushing you in some way, but you don't know where. You don't know when. Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of that, I certainly feel lost. And I felt that way a long time ago. And one of the things that I found that led me out of that lost feeling was finding an intention for my life. Now, when I was young, or younger, and working, I left high school, joined the army, had different jobs throughout my time, but I'd never actually made a decision on what my intention was. It was always, oh, why don't you give that a go? You'd be good at that. How's that sound? I go, oh, yeah, okay. Trundle off, throw a uniform on, get dressed, go to work, do something. But it was never really what I wanted to do. Yes, it has brought me to this particular place in time. And I had a ton of fun on the way. I can't argue that. And I'll let you into a little secret. I got up to some mischief. As those people in the class know how much mischief I can get up to. But what I found was that when I found that intention in my life, everything got a little easier. Just a little bit. It wasn't perfect, but it got just a little bit easier. Now, I remember when I was a child in Adelaide, sitting in front of the TV on a cold winter's afternoon, and I watched that great Australian tradition, particularly in the 70s and the late 60s and through the 70s, of watching Looney Tunes cartoons. Now, I'm sure you all had your favourites. I had one, and I wonder if you can guess who that was. But first, I'd like to tell you what an intention is, or what an intentional life is. An intentional life is a life of purpose, moving forward through life with desire and grit and perseverance towards a creaky floorboard and a target. Now, if you go back for a moment to the cartoon and looking at my dress, it is no surprise that one of my heroes as a child was Wile E. Coyote. Now, Wile E. Coyote to me symbolised strength, courage, perseverance, ambition, and drive. He had one single intention in his life, and that was to catch that mongrel roadrunner. Now, in order to do that, he had to expand his universe. He studied engineering. He studied explosives and chemistry. He experienced gravity. And all that enriched his life because he had one intention. So now, going back to the boat, think of yourself looking out over the sides of the boat, looking ahead, not knowing where you're going. And you see out there somewhere on the horizon, clouds starting to build. You can feel the temperature drop just a little. The wind picks up. That rocking, well, it's not going to do it, is it? That rocking motion of the boat, it starts to increase. And as that storm comes closer and closer to you, as you're floating there on a sea of life, starting to feel everything get more and more turbulent, as the waves come crashing in, they grow, the sky goes dark, and you hold on because you don't know what's going to happen. I'll leave you with that just for the moment. So how do we set our intentions in our life? As Brett suggested earlier, we ask ourselves a question about our values. What is important to us about a particular area? And that area is the area that you wish to set your intention. So it could be about your career, it could be about your relationship, it could be about your sport and your hobbies. So what I'd like to ask you to do just for a moment is think of something that you would like to see what your values are. And choose something, be it your career or your relationship or your sporting prowess or your health or anything like that. And ask yourself this question: what is important to me in the context of that particular thing? So when I was young, watching Wile E. Coyote, I knew what his intention was, and we all did. But for many of us here, right now, we may not understand what our intention is. My journey has come a long way. And as I look forward into my future, I know that my purpose is to help people find their intention, help them use the compass of their values to find theirs. As I floated alone on that storm, I saw a light. That light was NLP and coaching. And that helped me travel into the future, which is now and further, to help other people. I urge you all to chase after your roadrunner, to find your future, find your beacon and follow it. No matter what the storm of life may throw at you, hold on to that boat, grab hold of that rudder and steer yourself towards your intention. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you for listening. Give yourselves a big round of applause.
If you're on a highway, road runner goes beep beep. Just step aside or you might end up in a heap. Road runner runs on the road all day. Even the coyote can